Ooh, these match my nails perfectly. Like, get into that. How pretty is that? Like, ooh. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina Janice, and today we are going to be talking about makeup brushes. Now, I have been a makeup artist for just about 20 years, so I know a little something about makeup brushes, all right? So I'm going to get into these one by one. I'm going to tell you why I love them, where to get them. Each and every one of these are perfect for every level of makeup artistry. I'm going to get you together, all right? Now let's get into it. Okay, before we get into this video, get into the different background, get into the shag, okay? I just wanted to give y'all a little something different, and then also get into my nails. These are my Safari press-on sets made by me. You can find these on my website, but get into it. Now let's get into these brushes, all right? I'm gonna start with my very favorite brush. The brand of brushes, not just the brush itself, but the brand. And we have JESSUP. This is an Amazon brand. I love this brush. This is my foundation brush, and I love the shape of it. The bristles, I believe they're natural fiber bristles. Get into it. It's like the perfect weight. I love these brushes, and out of all the brushes that I've ever used in just about 20 years as a makeup artist, this is my favorite. I get into that. And all the links for all the products I'm talking about will be in the description, okay? And this is the JESSUP foundation brush. Now, I have the whole set, not just the single brush. Some of the brushes that I'm going to be talking about today, the majority of them I do have the full set. Some of them I only have several brushes, okay? But I do have the full set of the JESSUP. I think I got the 21 piece. I know they have a 16 piece also. I went on Amazon because I misspoke. They do have a 16 piece, but it looks like that's an eyeshadow brush. What I was referring to was the 13 piece. And as you can see, they're very reasonably priced, especially for the quality of these brushes. This is top-notch quality, like hands down. If you're a makeup artist, I would definitely recommend the 21 piece. If you are doing just your own makeup, then I would recommend the 16 piece. Unless you know what I'm saying, know how to really get in there with them brushes, the 16 piece will suffice, okay? Next up, we have the Morphe brushes. I don't have the full set of this particular collection. I think this was a one-off brush that I bought. This is a powder brush, so this is used to set the face. I believe these are natural bristles as well. As you can see, it's very dense, very full, very soft. It feels nice in the hand. I really like that. Another thing that's important to me, how they perform, the longevity, and how they feel. Now, speaking of longevity, I went on the Morphe site with the intention of seeing if they had that particular brush that I was showing in a set. And they don't even make their brushes to look like that anymore. I'm able to kind of pinpoint when I got that brush, and if I am remembering correctly, probably about 14 years ago, because I remember where I got the brush. And yeah, so that brush has held up even longer than I thought. In my mind, I was thinking I had the brush for maybe 7 years or something, but like I said, their brushes don't even look like that anymore. Like, those are very important. You want the bristles to be soft on your face, especially if you're working on clients. You want it soft on their face. You want the bristles to hold up under cleaning. I've found in my experience that some brushes are good, practically, they perform well, but they don't hold up under cleaning. And I am very clean when it comes to my makeup artistry. I disinfect my brushes after every client. I don't play that. Some brushes just don't hold up against the repeated washing, especially if you're using one of those electrical brush cleaners like I do. Like when you're drying it, that can make the bristles shed. This one has held up very nicely. Now, what I will say about Morphe, I would say the majority of their brushes hold up well, but I do have some Morphe brushes that have not held up as well under the shampooing. The ferrule has not come out of this one, has it? No, like this is the ferrule, for those of you who don't know, the metal part. So like if you're cleaning your brushes the old school way where you soak them and everything, you want to make sure not to submerge them past the ferrule, because what happens if you do, that water over time will seep in here and loosen, and this will separate. Okay, but this is a great brush. Morphe is also very reasonably priced. So were the JESSUP brushes, like very reasonably priced for a set. And I would say this is like my number two choice. I'm kind of going in order here. This is a great brush. And you can find these online or at Ulta. I generally get my Morphe brushes at Ulta because I like to feel the brushes and stuff if I can. It's not necessary. I've bought plenty of brushes online, but it is nice to be able to feel them. You see I keep brushing it like on my hand. It's like really soft, okay? The OG, the Sigma brush. When I tell you that I have had this exact brush literally almost 20 years, I have had this brush almost 20 years. I have the whole set of these. Now, Sigma brushes are a bit on the pricier side, if I remember correctly. For this set, it's like over $100. You know, I don't remember how many come in the set. I will try to find that information and put it here on the screen. Okay, so I am on the Sigma website and their logo doesn't even look the same. That just goes to prove how long I have had their set of brushes. And I was scrolling to see if they had the whole set, and they don't. I see they still have it in a travel eye brush set, but not the full 12 pieces or however many pieces came in the set. And I noticed that the majority of their brushes are black. I think I know why their brushes are black now for the most part. So keep watching and you'll see what I mean. But this is a great quality brush, especially if you're a makeup artist. I can't tell you how many faces I've done with this brush over the years. Like in 20 years, this has gone through a lot of applications and a lot of cleaning, and it has held up beautifully. Now, I have had to replace, you know, this has come off a couple of times and I've had to glue it back. But I mean, this brush, I've had it in my kit for 20 years, okay? I can't complain. These are a natural bristle brush, super soft, like even 19 years later to be exact, super soft, okay? They do come in various colors. I also have this same set in purple, and those have held up as well. The only thing I would say about the Sigma brushes is that when you're disinfecting, depending on what you're using, because I clean the handle of my brushes too, not just the bristles, like I disinfect the whole thing. When I am wiping down the handles, the paint does tend to come off, but it does depend on what I use, but majority of the things does kind of come off. I noticed with my purple set, the paint has cracked over time, like on the smaller brushes, like the eyeshadow brushes and things like that. But overall, this is a great investment, whether it's your personal brushes or in your makeup kits. What I like about Sigma brushes is that they have listed on the handle what brush is for what. When I was getting started with makeup, that was very helpful for me. If you're someone who's just getting into makeup, I would highly recommend a set of brushes that has the label on the handle so you know what is what. Now, with that being said, there's no rules. You know, you can use different brushes for different things, but it's helpful to help you remember what brush is intended for what. Definitely top three: JESSUP, Morphe, Sigma. Okay, now let's get to the next one, because I'm going to show y'all my top 5, because I do have a top 5, okay? Ooh, these match my nails perfectly. Like, get into that. How pretty is that? Like, ooh. Okay. Elf. This is also one of the first brushes that I ever purchased. I had the whole set of these. I think this was actually probably the very first set of brushes that I've purchased as a makeup artist. And then I purchased the Sigma after these. The reason why I got the Elf brushes was because they were affordable. You know, at that time, the Elf, all their stuff was like $1, if I remember correctly. And so, you know, that was very affordable for me. Plus, I was still in cosmetology school. I was a young girl. I was like 18 years old at that time. So that was right up my alley. But this brush has held up for just about 20 years, 19 to be exact. This set, if I recall, I want to say it was like maybe 10 brushes in the set. 7 to 10. It wasn't like a big set. It was perfect for a beginner. I'm gonna look this up and see if they still have this set. I don't know. Like I said, this was many years ago, and Elf has evolved so much since then. Here I am on the Elf side, and I just love to see how much they've evolved, because I feel like I've grown up with them. I've seen the brand evolve, and that's just a beautiful thing to me. So they do still have the set. It is a 12-piece. One thing that I see different than the one that I'm holding, like that's the set the way that I remember it. They tweaked the color of the handle slightly, and they changed the color of the bristles. Because you see mine, it kind of has like a burgundy tint to it, but they still have it. So that's good news for you. But another thing that I like about it, which was helpful for me back in the day, was that it also says what type of brush it is, okay? The total face brush. Makeup artists, we don't call that. We don't say it like that. It's a powder brush, okay? The bristles, they are soft, but they got a little texture to them, as you can see. They're a little bit textured. I don't remember if this is natural hair. It might be. It held up the color pretty well too. It's still soft enough for me to use on clients, and I do still use it on clients, but she got a little texture to her, as you can see. But great quality brushes. I would get Elf brushes to this day. I got nothing but love for Elf, okay? It's held up also through cleaning. I've never had to reattach the ferrule. Like, this brush has held up beautifully. Definitely in my top 5, because just the fact that it's held up for like 20 years, top 5. My next favorite, Sephora collection. This particular shape used to be for a minute, this was my favorite foundation brush. Before I started using like this shape foundation brush, this was my favorite. Number 70. Number 70 was my go-to for like a good solid 2 years. Like, that was, I got a job, okay, where's my number 70? And I still use it, but this is not my first preference in shape anymore. It has held up pretty well through cleanings. Sephora collection, they do say what brush is what on the handle. And I always like that, because it's like, you can't assume everybody knows what's what. Everybody got to start somewhere, and it's very helpful. I don't need that now. Like, I know what brush is what, but it's super helpful. What I like about this is super dense. The bristles, I believe these are natural bristles too. Very compact, very dense. So it's good for like full coverage application, medium to full coverage application. What I like about this brush also is that the way I use it, I kind of in a stamping motion, like I'll glide, and then when I'm blending, I'll kind of like dab it. So it's like you got your application and your blender all in one. So that's definitely something I like about the number 70, okay? And like I said, this is the Sephora collection. You can find this in person or online. Sephora does have brush sets, but I think this is not in a set. This is a standalone brush. The majority of their brushes are standalone brushes, but like I said, they do have sets. I think the most their brush sets maybe like 12 piece, 16 pieces. If you're gonna get a brush set from Sephora, I would recommend getting it during the holidays because they always have like nice sales and things like that. But Sephora collection, and I'm not just saying this because I used to work at Sephora, but anything from Sephora collection, great quality. I also really love their lash glue, like one of the best ones on the market. And every time I go up in there to buy it, it's sold out. So that lets you know it's good, all right? So number 70, Sephora for the foundation brush. But like I said, any brush from Sephora, great quality. This has never come apart during the disinfectant or the cleaning or anything like that. Great quality brush. They're reasonably priced as well, so definitely great quality. SHAINA B, Miami. I also do not have the whole set of these brushes. My mom gave me these brushes as well, but they are some of my favorites. I have like maybe 5 of SHAINA B brushes. So I'm here on SHAINA B's website, and as you can see, she for the most part sells her brushes individually. I do have some of the black brushes. I think I have 2 eyeshadow brushes, and I really do like those. Those are some of my favorites. And far as the pink set, I do have the full set of that. It's not that many in the set, but she doesn't do a lot of like big sets for her brushes. So these are good if you need just like a small set, like maybe for the eyes or like one-off brushes. They're very pretty. The bristles are nice and soft. I like the way these brushes perform. And the way that they're made, they held up very well through cleaning. I've probably had this brush at least 7 to 8 years as well. I have several of her brushes. Very good quality. They perform well. They're beautiful. I love that they have like that chrome shine to them. Like, definitely in my top 10 of the way that they perform. Was it It Cosmetics? I think that's the name of this brand. So I only got, I think like maybe 3 of these. It wasn't a whole set. The way I came across this brush, I used to get the Ipsy bags, or maybe my mom gave me this one in her Ipsy bag, because she was getting Ipsy bags too, and I had like unsubscribed. I was getting them for a while and then I unsubscribed, and I think she got this and gave it to me. But it's a beautiful brush. It's lightweight, not flimsy in the handle. Like, I like a handle that has a good weight to it. I don't necessarily like, I like my handle to have some type of weight to it. Like, I like my brush handles kind of like my cue sticks. You know, if you shoot pool, you know, like usually I'm like a 21 girly. Like, I like some weight, you know what I'm saying? But the bristles on this are so amazingly soft. And I feel like, based on the way these feel, I think these are natural fibers as well. I don't think these are vegan brushes. I know I do have some vegan brushes. I don't think this one is that, but it's held up extremely well with cleaning and applications. If I had to guess how many years I've had this particular brush, I would say 7 to 8 years, because I had it before I moved to LA. But great quality. I don't know how much these cost because I did not buy this outright individually. I feel like I've seen this brand in Ulta. So I'm here on the website, and it doesn't look like they sell the brush that I have anymore. And it's such a great brush. I don't know why they don't have a full collection of it. Some of these brands, They either have full collections or they don't. That kind of sucks. And it's such a beautiful brush too with the chrome handle. It's so soft. Like out of all the brushes that I've talked about so far, this is the softest. Like, I love when I get to use this brush on a client. It's so soft. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna rank the brushes because I feel like that will be helpful for you guys as well. And you know, I'm all about being helpful to you guys. I want you to get the best bang for your buck, and I want you to have the best tools. So let me break it down further for you. So this is the JESSUP brand. Remember, I'm rating the whole brand, not just the specific brush, the whole brand, okay? So I'm gonna rank the brushes on 1 to 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being amazing. I'm gonna rank them on performance, durability, and feel. For the performance of this JESSUP brush, I'm going to give her a 10. I love it, like no complaints. Durability, I've only had these brushes for a few months now, so I haven't had them long enough to see how they hold up under repeated cleaning. This is my personal brush. The rest of the brushes are brushes from my kit. So durability, I can't really rate it fairly yet, so I'm gonna skip that because I haven't had it long enough to really rate it on that. And then for the feel of the brush, an 11. These brushes feel amazing, especially on the face. 11. All right, now we're gonna go with Sigma. For performance, 12. Like, I know I said 1 to 10, but that's how good this brush, these brands performs. Like I said, I have had this particular brush, not just the brand. I've had the whole set of brushes for 20 years, okay? And it still performs as if I bought the brush yesterday. So a 12 on performance, durability, a 30. I'm just making up numbers, but I mean like 20 years. Like, come on now, 30. For the feel, considering I've had the brush for just about 20 years and it's still super soft, a 10. Okay. Next, It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe brushes. Performance, 10. Durability, 10. Feel, 50. The brush feels amazing. Like, it's so soft. I see why they call it Heavenly Luxe. Like, it feels heavenly. That's just like 1 to 10 is just the base, okay? 50, like, is really giving every bit of 50. Morphe, performance, 10. Durability, 10. Feel, 11. Like, don't think because I gave it 11 and not a 30 or a 50 like that is any less than. This feels amazing. It performs amazing. I just went above and beyond with those other ones because they are above and beyond. But a regular 1 to 10 ranking, 10, no complaints. Sephora collection brushes, performance, 10. Durability, 8. Feel, 8. But overall, great brush, no complaints. Elf, performance, 10. Durability, 50. Because I've had this brush for 20 years since I first started doing makeup. This is my very first set of brushes. This was part of that set. So 50. Feel, like I said, she got a little texture on her. She ethnic, okay? But compared to like softness, you know, the softness of the bristles on the face, we're gonna give her, let me give her one last feel. We're gonna give her, in comparison to my others, to be honest with you guys, like completely, I was gonna say 7, but I'm gonna give her an 8. The reason why I give her an 8 is because I've had this brush for 20 years, okay? I'm not gonna go hard on her. She has held me down 20 years strong. She gets an 8. SHAINA B, performance, 10. Durability, 10. Feel, 9. Okay, and there you have it. That's my rankings. These are my top 5 brands right here. JESSUP, SEPHORA collection, Sigma, MORPHE, ELF. That's my top 5 right there. My top 5 favorite brands. You cannot go wrong with either one of these. Whether you're getting a whole set of brushes or you're getting them individually. I personally like to buy brush sets, especially because I'm a makeup artist, but I like that, so I have everything that I need. But I find that it's even when you have brushes that have like let's say like 16 or more, sometimes you may still have to get a standalone brush, because like a lot of sets I notice do not include fan brushes, and I am a fan brush girly. If you get any one of these, you may just have to end up buying like 1 or 2 standalone brushes. But I mean, these brushes are great quality. The majority of them are priced pretty fairly. Sigma is a little pretty penny, but these brushes will last you for years. So that's that. I hope this video helped you and that you gained something from it. And if you have any of these brushes, let me know in the comments how you feel about them. If you know, have tried any of these brands, give me your opinion on them, all right? And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye. Testing, testing. Testing, 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 testing. All right, take 1,335,000.